A father had two sons. The eldest was clever and sensible, and knew how to manage things well. But the youngest was stupid, could understand or learn nothing, and whenever people saw him, they said, "His father will have trouble enough with him yet." Whenever something needed to be done, it was always the eldest who had to do it. But if the father sent him late in the evening, or even at night to fetch something, and the way led over the churchyard or some other dreadful place, the eldest would say, "Oh no, father, I won't go there. It makes me shudder," for he was afraid. And when, in the evenings, stories were told around the fire, stories that made one's skin crawl, the listeners sometimes said, "Ah, how it makes me shudder." The youngest sat in a corner listening, but he could not understand what they meant. They are always saying, "It makes me shudder. It makes me shudder. But I never shudder. Surely this must be some skill I don't know." The eldest burst out laughing when he heard this and thought to himself, "Good Lord, my brother is such a simpleton. He'll never amount to anything." But the father sighed and replied, "You shall learn to shudder soon enough, but earning your bread with it you never will." Soon after, the sexton came to visit, and the father complained to him of his trouble, telling him how ill-equipped his youngest was for anything, that he knew nothing and learned nothing. Just imagine, when I asked what he wanted to learn to earn his living, he actually said he wanted to learn to shudder. "If that is all," answered the sexton, "he can learn it with me. Send him along. I shall plane the roughness off him." The father agreed, thinking, "The boy will be polished up a bit at least." So the sexton took him into his house, and the boy had to ring the church bell. After a few days, the sexton woke him at midnight, ordering him to get up, climb the church tower, and ring. "Now you shall learn what it is to shudder," he thought, and secretly went ahead. When the boy reached the top and turned to grasp the bell rope, he saw, opposite the sound hole on the stairs, a white figure standing still. "Who's there?" he called, but the figure gave no answer and did not move. "Answer me," said the boy, "or be off. You've no business here at night." The sexton remained perfectly still, hoping the boy would think him a ghost. The boy called a second time. "What do you want here? Speak, if you are an honest fellow, or I'll throw you down the stairs." The sexton thought, "He doesn't really mean it," and kept silent. But the boy called a third time, and when this too was in vain, he ran and pushed the ghost down the stairs so that it fell 10 steps and lay in a corner. The boy rang the bell, went home, lay down without a word, and fell asleep. The sexton's wife waited long for her husband, but he did not return. Growing anxious, she woke the boy and asked, "Don't you know where my husband is?" "He went up the tower before you." "No," answered the boy, "but someone was standing on the stairs by the sound hole. Since he wouldn't answer or go away, I took him for a thief and threw him down. Go and see if it was her husband. I'd be sorry for it." She ran and found her husband lying in a corner with a broken leg. She carried him down and ran screaming to the boy's father. "Your boy has caused terrible harm. He threw my husband down the stairs and broke his leg. Get that good-for-nothing out of our house." The father, horrified, scolded the boy. "What wicked tricks are these? The devil must have led you." "Father," he said, "just listen, I'm innocent." He stood there at night like someone up to no good. I didn't know who it was and warned him 3 times. "Oh," said the father, "I have nothing but bad luck with you. Get out of my sight. I don't want to look at you anymore." "Very well, father, gladly. Wait till day, then I'll go out into the world to learn what it is to shudder. So at least I'll understand a trade that can support me." "Learn what you like," said the father. "It's all the same to me. Here, $50. Go into the wide world, and tell no one where you come from or who your father is, for I am ashamed of you." "Yes, father, as you wish." That I can easily remember. When day broke, the boy put his $50 in his pocket, went out onto the high road, and kept saying to himself, "If only I could shudder. If only I could shudder." A man passed by who heard him muttering, and as they walked on until the gallows came into sight, the man said, "Look, there is the tree where 7 men once married the rope maker's daughter, and now they are learning to fly. Sit beneath it and wait till night. You'll surely learn to shudder then." "If that's all," said the boy, "I can easily do it. And if I learn to shudder so quickly, you shall have my $50. Come back tomorrow morning." The boy sat under the gallows till evening. Because he was cold, he made a fire. At midnight, a chill wind blew, and the hanged men knocked against each other, swaying. "You're freezing up there while I'm warming down here," he thought. "How cold you must be." Out of pity, he set up a ladder, climbed up, loosened one corpse after another, and brought all 7 down. He stirred the fire, blew it bright, and set them around it so they might warm themselves. But they did not move, and their clothes caught fire. "Take care, or I'll hang you up again," he warned. But the dead men did not hear, kept silent, and let their rags burn. Finally, he grew angry. "If you won't take care, I cannot help you. I won't burn with you," he said, and hung them all back up in a row. He sat by his fire and slept. In the morning, the man returned for the money. "Well, now you know what shuddering is?" "No," said the boy. "How should I know?" They didn't utter a word, and were so foolish as to let their clothes burn. The man went away grumbling. "Never met anyone like this." The boy continued, saying to himself, "If only I could shudder. If only I could shudder." A carter walking behind him heard and asked, "Who are you?" "I don't know," said the boy. "Where are you from?" "I don't know." "Who is your father?" "I must not say." "What are you muttering all the time?" "Oh," he said, "I wish I could shudder, but no one can teach me." "Stop your foolish talk," said the carter. "Come with me. I'll find a place for you." They came that evening to an inn. Walking into the room, the boy said loudly again, "If only I could shudder. If only I could shudder." The innkeeper laughed. "If that's your wish, you'll find opportunity enough here." "Oh, be quiet," said the hostess. "Many a meddling fellow has lost his life trying. It would be a pity if those fine eyes never saw daylight again." But the boy insisted, "No matter how hard it is, I want to learn it. That's why I left home." He pestered the innkeeper until he told him that not far away stood a haunted castle where one could surely learn what fear was, if only one would dare to keep watch there for 3 nights. The king had promised his daughter, said to be the most beautiful maiden, the sun shone upon to anyone who could accomplish it. There were also great treasures inside, guarded by evil spirits. Once freed, they would make a poor man rich. Many had gone in, but none had come out. The next morning the boy went to the king and said, "If it is allowed, I would like to watch 3 nights in the haunted castle." The king looked at him and, liking him, said, "You may ask for 3 things to take with you, but they must be lifeless objects." "So," said the boy, "I ask for a fire, a lathe, and a carpenter's bench with a knife." The king had them carried to the castle. When night came, the boy lit a bright fire in a chamber, set up the bench, and sat at the lathe. "If only I could shudder," he said, "but I won't learn it here either." Around midnight, as he blew on the fire, a cry came from the corner. "Oh, meow! How cold we are!" "You fools," he shouted. "If you're cold, come and sit by the fire." 2 big black cats leapt to him, one on each side, staring wildly with fiery eyes. When they were warm, they said, "Comrade, shall we play a round of cards?" "Why not?" he said, "but show me your paws first." They stretched out their claws. "Huh, what long nails you have! Wait, I must cut them first." He grabbed them by the scruff, put them on the bench, clamped their paws tight, and said, "I've seen through your trickery now. I've no desire to play." He killed them and threw them out into the water. More black cats and black dogs came on glowing chains, more and more, until there were too many to escape. They howled hideously, trampled his fire, and tried to extinguish it. He watched for a time. Then, losing patience, he seized his knife and cried, "Away with you, rabble!" Afterward, he rekindled his fire and warmed himself. Growing sleepy, he looked around and saw a large bed in the corner. "Just the thing," he said, and lay down. But when he closed his eyes, the bed began to move, rolling through the castle as if 6 horses were pulling it up and down stairs, over thresholds, until suddenly it flipped over and lay on top of him like a mountain. He pushed off the covers and climbed out. "Let whoever likes drive on," he said, lay by his fire, and slept until day. In the morning, the king came, thinking the spirits had killed him. "A pity for such a fine fellow," he said. The boy sat up. "Not dead yet." The king was amazed and asked how he had fared. "Quite well," said the boy. "1 night is past. The other 2 will pass too." When he came to the inn, the innkeeper stared. "I didn't think to see you alive. So have you learned to shudder?" "No," said the boy. "All in vain. If only someone could tell me." The second night he went back, sat by the fire, and began again his old refrain. "If only I could shudder." At midnight, there was rumbling and crashing soft at first, then louder than a moment of silence. At last, with a scream, half a man fell down the chimney. "Hey," he cried, "another half is needed, that's too little." The noise began again, and the other half fell down. "Wait," he said, "I'll blow up the fire for you." When he looked back, the two halves had joined, and a hideous man sat on his bench. "That wasn't the deal," said the boy. "The bench is mine." The man tried to shove him aside, but the boy shoved back and kept his place. The man tried to shove him aside, but the boy shoved back and kept his place. More and more men dropped down, carrying 9 dead men's bones and 2 skulls. They set them up and played 9 pins. The boy wanted to join. "May I play?" "Yes, if you have money." "Plenty," he said, "but your balls aren't quite round." He set the skulls in the lathe and turned them round. "Now they'll roll better. Hey ho, let's play." He played and lost a little money. At midnight, everything vanished. He lay down and slept. The king came in the morning. "How did it go?" "I played 9 pins," said the boy, "and lost a few coins." "Did you not shudder?" "Oh no," he said, "I had fun. If only I knew what shuddering is." On the 3rd night he sat once more on his bench and grumbled, "If only I could shudder." Late at night, 6 tall men entered carrying a coffin. "That must be my little cousin who died a few days ago," he said, beckoning with his finger. "Come, cousin, come." They set the coffin down. He opened it. A dead man lay inside. He touched his face. It was cold as ice. "Wait," he said, "I'll warm you a little." He warmed his hand at the fire and laid it on the man's face, but it stayed cold. So he took him out, laid him on his lap, and rubbed his arms to get the blood moving. When that didn't help, he thought, if 2 lie together in bed, they warm each other. He carried the dead man to the bed, covered him, and lay beside him. Soon the corpse became warm and began to move. "You see, cousin," said the boy, "if I hadn't warmed you." But the dead man cried, "Now I will strangle you." "What?" exclaimed the boy. "Is that my thanks? You'll go back in your coffin." He lifted him, threw him in, and shut the lid. The 6 men carried him away. "It still won't make me shudder," he said. "I shall never learn it here." Then a man entered taller than all the others, terribly frightening, but old, with a long white beard. "O wretch," he cried, "now you shall soon learn what it is to shudder, for you must die." "Not so fast," said the boy. "If I must die, I must be present to see it." "I will catch you yet," said the monster. "Softly, softly," said the boy. "I'm as strong as you, and perhaps stronger." "We shall see," said the old man. "If you're stronger than I'll let you go. Come, let us try." He led him through dark passages to a smithy fire, took an axe, and struck one anvil into the ground with a single blow. "I can do better," said the boy. He went to the other anvil. The old man stood near, his white beard hanging down. The boy seized the axe, split the anvil apart in one stroke, and clamped the old man's beard in it. "Now I have you," said the boy. "Now death is for you." He seized an iron bar and beat the old man until he whimpered and begged to be freed, promising great riches. The boy pulled the axe free and let him go. The old man led him back to the castle and showed him 3 chests of gold in a cellar. "One portion is for the poor," he said, "one for the king, and one for you." Then the clock struck 12, and the spirit vanished, leaving the boy in darkness. "I'll manage," he said, groped his way back to the chamber, and slept by his fire. In the morning the king arrived. "Surely you have learned what it is to shudder?" "No," said the boy. "What is it?" "My dead cousin was here, and a bearded man came who showed me much gold, but what shuddering is, no one has told me." "You have freed the castle," said the king, "and shall marry my daughter." "That is all very well," said the boy, "but I still don't know what shuddering is." The gold was brought up, and the wedding was held. But though the young king loved his bride and was cheerful, he always said, "If only I could shudder. If only I could shudder." At last it annoyed her. Her chambermaid said, "I will help he shall learn to shudder." She went to the brook in the garden and had a whole bucketful of minnows caught. That night, when the young king was asleep, his wife pulled off his covers and poured the bucket of cold water with the little fishes over him so that they wriggled around him. He woke and cried, "Oh, how I shudder! Dear wife, how I shudder! Yes, now I know what shuddering is." If you liked the fairy tale of the story of the youth who went forth to learn what fear was, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more enchanting stories. Every week there will be a new tale of olden times. Thanks for watching, and we will see us here at Grimm Reborn. Sweet dreams.